I'm coming to you live from Pisa. We just arrived here actually about half an hour ago. So it's time to cover a handful of cities again because I've gotten behind on my vlogs. We've got Milan, Rapallo, Portofino, and well, we just got to Pisa, so I can't really cover that one yet. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 to 4 days ago, we were in Milan. It was a beautiful city. I feel like I say that a lot, but a lot of, there was a very large castle that we went to that we walked around for a while. It was fantastic. It was all rebuilt. It's been rebuilt in sort of stages, but they rebuilt it exactly as it used to be, and it seems to be complete with ivy and everything. It didn't look rebuilt. Parts of it did, but most of it didn't. It's very nice. The big attraction for us, though, we only spent 1 day there, and sadly we didn't see our friend Alicia that we had hoped to see again. She was actually with family in Tuscany. It's a bit envious. I think Tuscany might have even been better than Milan, but beside the point. We were there for sort of a main reason, and that was to see. Ooh, my camera's really close to the edge. That's a bit better. We were there to see Da Vinci's Last Supper, which obviously we saw that, and it's breathtaking. There are a lot of things, and later today we're going to go see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. There's so many things that we're seeing that you read about and you see pictures of and you see on TV and things like that, but it's an entirely different thing when you actually see something and you stand in front of it and it's, feet in front of you. And I don't know, it's sort of an undescribable feeling, but we've now seen 2 of Leonardo da Vinci's famous works. In Krakow, we saw A Lady with an Ermine, which is another one of his famous works, and actually his best preserved work. So we saw that, we saw The Last Supper. We just sort of walked around the city. There were a couple cathedrals, and we actually did a bit of a tour. I thought what our tickets were for was more just to get in and see the painting, and that was it. But it was actually more of a tour, so we got to see a bit more of the city, and Michelangelo's unfinished Pietà was there as well. But it was nice. Very fashion forward, obviously. A lot of high-end stores, a lot of finely dressed individuals. I think Milan is sort of the fashion capital of the world. Hopefully that's not wrong and I didn't offend anyone, but I'm pretty sure it is. So from Milan we went further down into Italy. We just spent a day in Milan, and we went to Rapallo, which is it's right on the coast, right on the Mediterranean coast. And you still have pretty high mountains, pretty tall foothills, so they were still pretty high. They weren't the Alps. I will say they were not the Alps, but I don't know that anything is now. But little colorful houses and whatnot, and our hotel was right on the beach. There's a small sort of a pebble beach. And our hotel was right there, and then there's a small castle. All of these little. It's just a bunch of little port cities. The city that we went to from Rapallo, that we were essentially in Rapallo for, was Portofino. But you've got all these little port cities, and they all have these. It's a really tiny castle, as far as castles are concerned. But they have one here, and then like one over on this point, and then another here, and then one way over there. Obviously this is big scale. This isn't me on a this isn't like 100 yards away. This is miles over the water, but still, it's just sort of dotted, and they're so small that it's sort of funny. So our hotel was right on the beach, and the castle was sitting like right in front of our window, so that was very neat. The water was a lot warmer than Lucerne and Geneva and Zurich and Richtersville, wherever we swam. It was very nice. Let's see. The first day we got there, we had about 3 hours to kill, and we decided to lie on the beach. And I, being the smart person that I am, was thinking, I'll burn just a little bit, and then I'll turn it into a tan. And my legs are still a very bright, vibrant red. So I can only blame myself. We bought sunscreen. That's what's even funnier. I thought, I'll wait a bit. And then after 2 hours, I thought, maybe I should move into the shade. And it's only after you get out of the sun that the redness sort of shows through. So yeah, the redness certainly showed through. So the second day, we went to Portofino, and I swear I bet my camera's going to cut off again. I'm sort of tired of making part 1 and part 2 videos, but I don't know, maybe if I sort of just do something. I don't know, maybe I'm making it worse. I just don't like how it cuts off. But anyway, so the second day we went to Portofino. It's a very famous, sort of your epitomal little Italian coastal town. If you look up pictures of Portofino, spelled phonetically essentially, you'll be greeted with this fantastic little cove with colorful houses, and it's fantastic. So much money there, There were a couple of ships there that were absolutely ridiculous. A couple cruise ships as well, some Mediterranean cruise ships. But I think there've been movies filmed there. And they have their castle that's way up on the hill, way up on the mountain, and you climb to the top, and you actually, the picture that you get from the castle is probably the picture you'll see the most of on Google Images. And I have been waiting for most of the trip to get the pictures that I got. That was I've got like a handful of shots in my head that I'm waiting to take as we progress along the trip, and that was one of them. Well, one of them, I say about, I don't know, I probably got 100 shots. So, absolutely gorgeous. So we spent most of yesterday there. We also went up to a monastery above Rapallo that was much farther than we thought it would be. We saw a church, that was sort of up on the hill that you could see from the town, and somehow we got into the idea that there's a cable car that takes us there. Well, there is a cable car, but it takes you way up here. Like you can't see the monastery from the town. You can see the town from the monastery because it's it's like the size of a pizza. When you look out over the mountain, it's it's different than we expected. Anyway, so we did that as well, and then we went to Portofino. Suppose I should work on my sort of my event flowing talks, but anyway. So we're in Pisa now. Pisa. And we're probably I'll go back upstairs, pack up my bag, and I think we'll probably head out, and I think the tower is one of the only things to see here. I think there's another building, another old building. To see, and I think it's actually really near the tower. I should know this by now, but we'll see. So we'll take the classic forced perspective shots of us pushing the tower over, or trying to hold the tower up, or whatever. So, but then from here we go to Rome, which is going to be hectic and crazy, and we're going to have so much to see, but it's all exciting. The trip is sort of coming to an end. It's not coming to an end, but I mean, we're certainly on sort of the back leg. As soon as we get done with Rome, we'll go to the south of France, and then the south of France is kind of our last really big adventure. Then we've got the relaxing time in Cologne, Germany, and then we've got sort of we've got several days in Paris. But once we get through Germany, it's Brussels, Paris, London. That's it. So. The trip is winding down a bit, so that's all I can think of. So, that's it.